And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Webby-nominated podcast featuring Choey and Jandler.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Hi, I want to welcome everybody to Choey and Jandler's The Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, everybody. Now, sorry if I sound a little different. Allergies are kicking my butt. Haven't talked to Choey in about a week. Wonder if he's feeling the same pain. Normally we get the sniffles and stuff with a lot of cedar in the air. So definitely this made this week a little more challenging than normal because you're not 100% as a teacher. Want to say, this is a rerun episode, but let me first jump into the holidays here for January 23rd.
Here are today's effing holidays.
So here on January 23rd, it is first considered National Handwriting Day. National Handwriting Day on January 23rd encourages us to put pen to paper and write out our thoughts. So hashtag National Handwriting Day. As a elementary teacher, this definitely reminds me of you got your kids that have the good handwriting that you can read, and you have the others that you have to really be a scientist, put a lot of scientific method in trying to decipher what they're trying to say. So yes, handwriting, good time to kind of practice it and write your thoughts out, but also not just for you to get your thoughts out onto paper, but so hopefully someone can read them, someone besides you, And also it's National Pie Day. National Pie Day on January 23rd celebrates one of the nation's favorite desserts. No matter how you slice it, what kind of pie it is, pie in just about any form makes a crowd happy. Fruit pies, berry pies, cream pies, they are mouth-watering servings of homemade goodness. So hashtag National Pie Day here on January 23rd. And the last holiday is a unique one here. It's called Thorablat. Thorablat is a special celebration in Iceland that brings people together in the dark winter months. It's a lively event where families and friends can gather to enjoy traditional Icelandic foods and embrace their cultural heritage. This day is filled with laughter, storytelling, and a strong sense of community. It's a chance for everyone to connect, share old traditions, and keep the Icelandic spirit alive. So that's Thorablat here on January 23rd. All right, so that's it for these holidays for this week. Like I said, this is going to lead into an episode, a rerun episode, but I do want to first start out by saying we made a song for the judges for the Webbies. So you get to hear a little song introing in to the rerun episode, and I'm going to ask you to please stay tuned to the end, and you can see a sneak peek of something that Choey and I are working on, trying to do monthly here and there on YouTube. It's called S.N.A.R.K TV. So there's just a little snippet of some comedy that he and I have been putting together. So that's what we got for this now, and I'm leading it into the rerun episode. So peace, everybody.
Jokes in a living room, now we're on a list that feels way too official. 1 minute it's memes and bad ideas, next thing you know this got corporate and judicial. We checked the email like it was spam, thought no way this is actually true. But now we're being judged by people who literally decide what the internet do. So if this song sounds nervous, yeah, it's true. We're deeply unqualified but very into you. Coca-Cola, please hydrate us. Meta, please don't algorithm hate us. YouTube, TikTok, Audible too. We made a podcast, now we're being judged by you. Waymo, drive us to success. Y Combinator, invest in this mess. Activision, make us a game. PBS, tell our parents we're not ashamed. RGA got the global creativity, OpenA got the robots behaving, TikTok's got the trends we can't keep up with, and YouTube runs half a modern civilization. A famous actor from the Hateful Eight and Ant-Man 2, yeah, that's our fate. A famous social media creator runs 1111, and someone from Meta's teaching AI how to act human, while one of you's literally shaping the future. We're just hoping our mic didn't pick up every blooper. We don't know how we got in this room, but we promise we wore our nicest. Coca-Cola, we'll take a sip. Meta, please don't shadow ban this clip. Audible, let them hear our jokes. Waymo, we trust you with our hopes. YouTube, we obey the algorithm. TikTok will dance if that's the system. OpenA, please don't flag our tone. PBS, please adopt us as your own. We used to celebrate 5 downloads. Now we're up against the people who run the entire internet. One of you literally leads AI policy, and we once argued for 10 minutes about a sandwich. So if this song is unhinged, that's just our brand. We're extremely grateful and deeply out of our depth. Coca-Cola, Meta, Waymo, TikTok trends we don't even know. Activision, YouTube, Audible, Y Combinator said this is plausible. OpenAI, please be kind. Famous actor, please don't mind. PBS, tell the world we tried. We made a podcast and somehow survived. Honestly, we're just happy to be here if you're listening to this as a judge. Thank you for not skipping ahead. That alone feels like a win.
Sorry, it took me a minute there to find the intro song. Welcome, everybody, to Choey and Jandler's The Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Choey.
Welcome, Jandler. You know what I think? You know what I think is funny is we
What?
don't. If we ever like letting people behind the curtain and stuff like that, I probably still won't even show because it won't be recording yet. But that little like double finger salute, we just do it now just because like whereas like before it was like to goof off, and now it's like we have to do it as part of the intro.
Yeah, part of the I think it was at least cool that when you and me, when we interviewed that guest, was it Dave or I can't remember that. You know, that doctor. Good thing we weren't doing it then because we just got used to it. Hey,
And he's like, "What? Why are you doing that?"
he's like, "That's it."
Well, come on, guys, get with it.
Hey, Choey. So, before you popped on, right? I just happened to look at our little Spotify thing, right? Dude, we got 4 new countries.
What?
Bangladesh, Israel, Republic of Lithuania, and Poland. Right? So, try like here in Bangladesh, you could either say like Apnar, Shastho, Kimona Korea. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Or you could just say cheers. They say cheers there. Right?
I was
Which
like,
is cool. Poland looks like they got it. There's this, it's Nazarovye. I think it's kind of like the Russian one.
it's almost like the Russian. It's almost like the Russian way.
Well, they are very close to Russia. Here in the Republic of Lithuania, it looks like it's I Sveikata. Translates to your health. I'm probably saying it wrong, but at least I can pronounce the Israel one. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Yeah, so at least that one's easy to do. I can't do the thing with your throat like you did. Like you get that phlegm in there, or whatever.
L'chaim.
Yeah.
It's a bit. You got a bit of schmutz. Dude, that's crazy. Like we're just blowing up.
Yeah.
At this rate, by the end of the Quattro season, or rolling into season Cinco, we might have the whole world.
We might have, dude. So my Echo Dot, by the way, subscribes to the 193 countries theory, and there were 2 others. I think it was Vatican. There's like these city states. It's Vatican, and I forgot the last one. But I think there's 193 recognized UN nations. So
and how many are we at to now? Like we're 30 something.
Well,
now,
you count the US, we're at 30. We got 29 plus us. So, but what I think is funny too is when you look at it, right? If you can see this, how these 0.01%, and actually we're less than 0.01%, which makes me, it's almost like someone stumbles across it, which I love, because we can say, "Hey, cheers" or whatever, but they're probably like, "These idiots," you know. They're like, whatever.
This is all stupid. Yeah. This is all stupid. Some kids like listening is like, I like it, and they're like, put away your dang podcasts.
Yeah. It's like go to bed, but no, it's pretty cool though.
And your social media and your podcasts.
I just think it's pretty cool again. So another top. You know, so
Like you said though, if we go on that trajectory, if we can get 4 countries every week, yeah, I think we'll get there. We'll get to that
I wonder
193.
excuse me. I wonder if any podcasts are being listened to in every country around the world.
That's a good one. I'm sure, like maybe one of those big ones. Maybe. Well, I don't know about everyone, but I still say we are the best teacher podcast that releases on Fridays. In this demographic.
Like some weird characteristic where you're like, we're the best teacher podcast. It releases on Fridays, featuring 2 people
Yeah,
that
exactly.
they were friends in high school and have continued to be friends for 25 plus years.
Yeah, which
You're all,
in the northern hemisphere.
About the 43rd parallel or whatever, like
Exactly.
and west of the something. It's all. You're
like,
the only one that's like that.
You're like, I defy you to beat us there. I honestly, I do say, when I talk to people, and even when I think about if I were to like promote it, what podcasts I listen to, they're nothing like us. We stand on our own in a lot of ways. We're so unique in everything.
Well, and to take people behind the curtain again, I think
Yeah.
one of the funny things that I laugh about every once in a while when I listen to like the episodes is the fact that like you come up with like an agenda and we don't get through half of it. Like we would be like the most unproductive people
And I
in the
hear you say
workplace.
that, and I think you got it. So you've been an admin too long. You forgot what it's like to be a sub, or to make sub plans. You got to prepare for time, right? Just in
Just like
case.
rolling over.
Yeah, just in case. This is why, which is why last week I was like, okay, I got to get all this stuff out because this is like Jandler's story time because I've been holding on to it for months. But all right, here, let's jump into the holidays real quick.
Here are today's effing holidays.
All right, so this episode on August 22nd, it's National Tooth Fairy Day. Celebrate National Tooth Fairy Day with a sparkly surprise. Make this day extra special for your little one with a fun tooth fairy themed activity. Asked my current team of teachers, because a lot of them have some kids. I was like, "Hey, what's the tooth fairy running at?" Right, and they're talking about what we talked about like 2 years ago or something about the the paper money and whatnot, like dollar, whatever. And then they brought up the story. I think you brought up before about the Modern Family when I guess they
Yeah.
accidentally put in like $100 bill instead of $1 or whatever. And they're like, "Whoa, tooth fairy!"
Apparently the Tooth Fairy is giving out Apple gift cards now.
Yeah, exactly. It's also National Pecan Torte Day. Treat yourself to a delicious piece of pecan torte this National Pecan Torte Day. Indulge in sweet, nutty flavors and celebrate the day with joy.
It looks like a pie though, right?
That's probably good. That's a good question. It's some kind of pie. I don't know what torte is.
It looks good.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
You're like, can I DoorDash that? Amazon,
Oh, good.
drop it off with a drone. Speaking of holidays, you know how and Facebook may hate me for this. But you know how they like data mine stuff, like where stuff just pops up on your Facebook because they think you might like it. I think Facebook has realized, because of the podcast and because I look up the holidays and stuff. And I think a lot of time, I'm gonna guess Facebook listened to our Oktoberfest episode.
Mhm.
Did you know that they're because I keep seeing these tickets on sale. They're doing some Oktoberfest in San Antonio this year.
What?
Yeah, I was like, because they're like Stein Oktoberfest in San Antonio, and I was like, what? And I was like, that's pretty cool. San Antonio's moving on up there, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if this is gonna get us too crazy thing off or not, but I was hearing on the ESPN radio this morning. They're talking about how like the newly elected mayor is like trying to like squeeze the Spurs organization out of more money, and they're like, hopefully she doesn't make it to where they leave, and I'm like, she better not.
Are you hearing that too? Yeah, that would Virgin. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, man. The last couple of days, it's been turning, and it's like every time I leave school and come home, that's what they're talking about, and I'm like, oh, you know what I did think? Well, I feel like, in my opinion, I think she's trying not to be a pushover, and I think she's trying to show that she's not just gonna she's gonna stand up for stuff, and that she maybe not really like thinking everything like through completely. But I tell you what, man, whatever mayor you are, you don't want to be known as the mayor like for us. But if it's any other city, you don't want to be known as the mayor that pushed some team out, or forced them to leave. Like
Yeah, 'cause I'm
basically
sure.
to talk quick before we move on. they're like they keep talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder paying like 50 million. The team is for their new arena. The city's fronting like 90-95% of the rest. The Spurs want to front $1 billion, right? And I guess there's something because I've heard enough of it on the news. There's some legislation in the state where if you're like you can get money from the state to build like certain areas up for sports. Like the state of Texas will give you money for that. So it's like I get the mayor may not want to do this because of some other problems in San Antonio, but what they keep saying on the radio is like, but she can't get that money and use it for something else. Like you have to use it for this. And if you don't want to do a deal with the Spurs, well then you don't get the money, and they probably leave. And then when they leave, hurts tourism and stuff like that. So it's like
a lot.
Yeah,
Because you
it's
think
like
bare
I really don't know
minimum.
what she's doing.
And they were
But
talking about the fact that apparently the Final Four is not coming back here unless we have upgraded facilities because apparently the dome no longer fits.
yeah.
So I was like, dang.
And again, that hurts money down there, like with hotels and restaurants and bars, things like that. But all right, this is a school show. We educated people on something. Yeah, we taught Choey and Jandler. We'll teach you something. Just may not be what you want to know, but you'll learn.
What you want to know or
Yeah.
care to know.
All right, hey, jump in some headlines real quick.
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
All right, 1 week down for me at my new school. I'm happy. But like I told you offline, it's like obviously it's an adjustment how different districts do different things, right? I'm not saying like one's good, one's bad. It's just if you're used to doing something one way and then you gotta learn a new way, like I keep falling back on, well, that's not how we did it. Did you ever do that when you switched this? You're just like, well, that's not how we did it before. I'm not used to that. So
yeah, a lot. I mean, that happens with every job. Like, it's like, oh, well, that's not how I've done it before, and they're like, well, that's how we do it. And you're like, well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
just
don't
saying.
say it like that. Actually, just think about it. Just like, I'm not like, cause I'm not trying to be mean, but I tell you,
you guys suck.
dude. And this is it. I'm not making fun of our school because even my last school, it was like, the first day of school, especially the first week, and you're an admin. You've been, well, you did elementary, middle, and high, so you've seen all
I
3
did.
levels. That first week of school, especially, like you're trying to learn the ropes, the routines, right? Trying to teach the students that. Especially the young ones, takes a little bit longer. But day one of transportation is always a hot mess in a lot of ways,
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's like I think our first day, it took us probably over an hour to get everybody else, right? And then so we meet. Say I've done it at my last school too, but we met that first day, and the principal's talking to us, and then they're like, "Hey, give us ideas, give feedback, give suggestions," and so what we did, because I'm a dismissal room, right? The way that we have so many kids, we have almost 1,000 students, right? That they have like this one hallway, and that happens to be my hallway that I'm in, where we got these kids, and then they have like this spreadsheet pops up, and they're like, hey, we need card number, blah blah blah, right? And we got tags on all the kids, like it's all on their backpacks. We had to put it on the first day. Well, and so then we look at the screen, we're like, hey, get ready, and then we send them to where they got to go. So what we're doing now, because we didn't do this the first day.
Like an order guy at McDonald's, now serving number, go.
Pretty much just like, next, we got number 59. But dude, we got like car 505. Dude, it sometimes you should see it. So you're like 505, and you're like one person will yell it, and then someone else will yell it. It's like you hear someone, it's like this chain reaction. 505, 505, and then you're like out there like with your hands 505 in case they can't hear you. But that first day, first like they dismissed pre-K first and Kennedy like up through the grade levels, right? Well, what happened is the hallway got so full, us third grade teachers and first grade, we couldn't take our kids where they needed to go because we could barely walk, and so the hallway just got overloaded. So what we've come up with is what's been working is us first and third grade, we dismiss a little first, or we dismiss first, so we can send our kids, so we can take our kids where they got to go, and then we go back to our room, and now it unclogs the hallway a lot, and so it's been working. But so, dude, it was just crazy. The first day, and it's still like it's better, but still, man, there's so many kids. It still takes like 30 minutes or whatever, 30, 40. It's just like,
Yeah,
it's
well, I mean,
insane,
like you said, you got 1,000 kids. I bet y'all knock it down to about 15, 20. It'll probably be your average here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be good. That'll be ideal, but it's, it's still that first week. So, um, hey, you talk, I think you talk about how I move stuff on. You're like making fun of Jandler's agenda or whatever. Dude, I put this on here. I highlighted. I don't know if you're looking at the slide, but
Oh,
this is something that I have, like, I noticed over the summer. I probably noticed a while ago, but it hit,
gosh. I got
you know,
some. I can talk to you too about this when we're done too.
yeah, but you know how, like, you're in a training and I almost feel like it popped into my head yesterday or last week. I feel like sometimes some people just ramble on in trainings when you're in like a teacher training. Like they're thinking, well, I got to keep talking. And they just keep talking and talking. And I'm just like, you've said the point. All right. I get it. We get it. Let's move on. It's not like you have to talk for 2 hours. Yeah, it says you're here from 9 to 11, but you don't have to keep going. Obviously, you noticed that, right? Where the people just keep rambling.
Dude, like, so I had to do an onboard or virtual like orientation last night, and it went for. It was scheduled for 3.5 hours from 5:30 to 9, and we got out 10 minutes early. And it is what it is. I wasn't listening the whole freaking time. I will admit, like I was just kind of peeking in every once in a while to make sure, like I was supposed to. Am I supposed to chime in and do something? No, yes, whatever. They had this lady, like we did an icebreaker the first 15 minutes, and then they sent us to breakout rooms for our little department areas, and then we had to talk to each other and share something about ourselves. That took another 15. So the first 30 minutes was just crap icebreaker. And then they get this lady on here who's like higher up in the organization. They're like, she has a very inspirational story that's going to tie into this. I'm like, great. And she talked 20 minutes, Jandler, 20 minutes. And they opened it with, I want to talk to you about the starfish and this poem about the starfish. And she didn't read the poem about the starfish. She's opened with it and said, we're going to talk about it. And it really ties in. And she told us her whole life story. How like she defected from Cuba and her dad was left behind, but it was her and mom. She grew up in a single parent household and she went to college and met a guy and they had a bunch of kids, and then he divorced her and she was a single mom with a bunch of kids, and she still went to college and got her degrees and all this stuff. And the moral of her story,
Are you going to tell us
she
the 20
tells
minutes?
us, no, and she didn't deliver it like that either. Like it wasn't quicker. It was, and then I thought I had my Prince Charming, but it turned out he wasn't my Prince Charming, and we got divorced. And so it was like the crappiest, like Mother Goose and like story ever. And at the end, she's like, and I say all this because I want you to know, the students in your class, for some of them, that'll be the safest place they have in their life, but for others, it will be the scariest one. And I was like, I want to come off of mute and be like, do you know what a moral of a story is? It's not like a contradictory statement. Like, what's wrong with you?
Did you raise your hand at one point? You're like, where is the starfish?
Where's the starfish? And then we never circle back to the starfish. Like, she never finished it up. It was like, and like the poem of the starfish. But no, we just never came back. So it was like a cliffhanger. And I was like, what? Where's the starfish got to do?
Yeah, I guess
that's not the moral of the story.
I was guessing. I know this because it's tattooed on my arm. A starfish is a symbol of regeneration. So I'm guessing that's what she was talking about. Like, you're up, you get knocked down, you regenerate.
But you got to cycle back
to it. You got to tie it in with a bow.
It was just one of those like, and then like when she's like, in the moral of the story, the reason I'm telling you this, and she tells like. That's like one of those like, sometimes soup is good served hot, but it can also be good cold. You're like, wait, what? That's not a moral at all.
Your delivery reminds me of Homer Simpson. It's just like, that's how she was talking.
That is how she was talking though. To where also, I'm like, like you're not pausing for dramatic effect. Like you lost a bunch of people. My camera's off, so was a bunch of other people's cameras. But the people that are on there, like even some were like this with this like. You could tell in their face that they're like, what?
It finally popped in my head when I was thinking about home. It's like, and that was called the bus that couldn't slow down.
Yeah. And that was like, And so she finally was finished, and they're like, "Thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable." And I'm like, "Well, first off, like it was planned. It wasn't like she just like was like, I have something to share. Like y'all planned for her to talk,
Yeah.
and then she shares this, and it makes no sense."
That's all. That reminds me of something too. It's always funny you do those trainings and those people they thank you for coming and you want to be like, well, I didn't choose to. I had to be here. You know?
Yeah.
So like I was like, hey, it's so and so. I'm going to her speech or his speech. And I'm just like, I got to be here. It is what
Dude,
it
and
is.
also too, two freaking times. And had they not done had they done the breaks, we would have finished after 9 o'clock. But there was
Yeah.
2 times where, like, in the slide presentation, it comes up and says 5-minute break. And I kid you not, these people that were delivering this were like, all right, so it says 5-minute break, but how does everybody feel? Like, do we feel like we just want to push on? Yeah, good. All right, let's go. And I'm like, you didn't even give us an opportunity to say no. And there was one person that popped up in the chat that was like, yeah, let's take a break. And they just kept rolling.
They're like,
No,
screw
that
this
was
person.
all. I was like, yeah, they're like, sucks to be you. I'm in control of the presentation. Here we go.
Dude, you're gonna laugh at me here because I'm already thinking one thing I got planned. We'll just move to episode 3. Cause see what goes on is you and I we start talking about something. I say, hey, if I thought that ramble story, I didn't realize it would do what it did, right?
Yeah.
And which is good. It creates conversation. But it reminds me of this other thing I'd put on my phone one time before. So there was a day during training before school started, right? Like a couple weeks ago, where maybe I think my back was hurting me. I was feeling a little crabby just because my back was bothering me, and I thought we were done. And people just kept asking questions, right? They kept asking questions, so I'm just, and it reminded me, and we've talked about it before. Remember Question Girl in UTSA where we thought we were done, and she'd always have like a million questions. And we're like, we're trying to get out of here, and then like it's like you want to be like, I got a question, good, let's go. But no, someone's like, I got a question. And then sometimes the questions really have nothing. They pertain to nothing what we're talking about.
It's specifically
Yes,
for them and them alone. And even the teacher's like, what?
Yeah, and it's
What?
just like it is funny though. It's teachers is just like it's like we're like our own classroom, if you will. You know what I mean? You got those
Mhm.
teachers that are like the hardworking students, right? Just like the students. And you got those other teachers that are kind of like the silly ones or the lazy ones, right? I mean, you don't really have like the behavior people, but they're all over the place. You got some that are just
No,
trying to get by.
you
But
do. You have the behavior ones because they're the ones that are sending the kids up to this office for referrals for jacking around in class. And in the meetings, they're the ones doing the same thing. They're on their phone or they're doing that on their laptop. And even when somebody's like, let's all make sure that we agree. No electronics so we can be focused. And they're all, and you're all, pay attention. This is for you. This isn't for us. This is for you.
Dude, I did the and this is the last thing I'll say before we take our little break. But I did the thing. I've done it before, and I can't remember if I've told you this. So if I haven't, it's new. And if I told you, dude, I apologize. But I'll get up there with the kids. I've already done it this week. And I'm like, look, guys, I'm not up here for me. I know how to do math. I'm not practicing it. I'm here to teach you. I was doing it I was at my spill of the first day. But I was like, I'm up here to teach, and you're up here as best as I can to help you as best as I can. And you're up here to learn. But like, I want you to understand, I'm not taking the 3rd grade star. I'm just up here demonstrating stuff. But all right, you want to jump into the break, then come back? I got a funny story, and then we're gonna get to ask a principal. Is that cool with you? Right here.
Sounds good.
Right here.
I don't get the thumbs up. It's not reacting.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, you're not on your phone, or what? Wasn't that your phone or your iPod that did that, or iPad?
I don't know. I think it's my phone. I'm on my laptop. I figured it would do it on everything.
No, that's cool. Hey, no offense to the Republic of Lithuania, Poland, Israel, and Bangladesh, but obviously I haven't updated the song yet, and probably gonna wait at least till half the season before I do it. But so we'll just keep shouting them out. But dude, the song's gonna get a lot longer. Song's gonna get a lot longer.
We say prost, Gambay cheers made, and cheers made again, or simply cheers. Sometimes it's all toss Santa, other times it's cheers up. You effing hoser, you effing hoser. We also say sawday, salute saluti, or tage, skull. Let's all say Nazdarovia in the Russian way. In Vietnam we shout out yo, Walugi Wawa makes South Africa glow. In Portugal, it's a solid soul. In Budmo, Ukraine's here to stay. In Thailand we clink and shout out Chon. Then back to the bar till the liquor's gone. For Jamaica, it's allowed you mourn. No matter the place, we drink till dawn. In India we say cheers, or body hole. Hungary says he just did it, don't go too slow. New Caledonia joins in with a la boat, let it flow. In Taiwan we shout out Ganbei, and Singapore says Yam Sing all the way. Cheers, cheers around the world.
Dude, it hiccuped on my side for that. Like, I don't know if I froze or whatever, but I'll fix that when I edit it. But dude, I love the song, but I'm just like, it's almost to the point where when we play that song, people can you can run to the bathroom. You're like, I'll be back. You know,
Well, if you play the whole thing, they could go make a sandwich and go to the restroom.
well,
5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the version. I like extending it, but I didn't plan to extend it that long. AI, but cool. Hey, here's a little Morgan.
Hi there. I'm here to help Choey and Jandler to read an advertisement for buyblacket.com. Please shop buyblacket.com. Are you looking for unique gifts at unbeatable prices? Then look no further. Buyblacket.com has quality merchandise for everyone on your list, from gifts for cat and dog lovers to American fans, beer enthusiasts, and even Jesus lovers. As for teachers, we didn't forget about you. Please don't miss our funny attire to brighten up your classroom. So bring a smile to your loved ones' faces and shop buyblacket.com today. Tell them Choey and Jandler sent you.
Hi there, Ryan Reynolds here on behalf of my friends Choey and Jandler. You may know me from movies where I either save the world or ruin Thanksgiving. But today, folks, I'm not here to sell you cologne, crypto, or questionable NFTs. I'm actually here to tell you about Fish.audio. This isn't really me talking right now. This is my voice, made by Fish.audio, which frankly is terrifying. It sounds exactly like me, and trust me, I've heard my voice in 87 trailers. This is better. Whether you're a podcaster with a potato microphone, a game developer building an army of space dolphins, or just lonely and want a perfect Morgan Freeman to read your grocery list out loud to you, Fish.audio has you covered. Fish.audio is easily one of the best voice generation platforms I have ever used, which is saying something, because I've done voiceover for a toothpaste brand in 4 languages I don't even speak. And speaking of that, Fish.audio is cross-lingual, which means it supports 13 different languages. Their amazing program also allows you to clone voices. Fish.audio make your voice legendary, or at least make my voice say weird things. I legally can't stop you either way.
That kind of reminds me. So I was talking to one of my vice principals the other day, right? Dude, I'm learning a lot with AI, like Brisk AI and Canva AI and stuff, right? Some cool stuff. And I was telling him how I use Chat GPT a lot when I'm doing Choey and Jandler stuff, right? And I've done it enough to where it's learned who Choey and Jandler is, and I was telling him that, and he's kind of laughing, and I was so like, I said that and he asked why I was doing it. I was like, oh, more for fun, but I was like, getting ideas when I like write books, or with me and my buddy were trying to write a book, and so we're getting ideas and things like that, and so it's just crazy, right? It's just crazy, but
I'm just glad that AIs eventually realized that Choey's not a girl.
what? So I've had to explicitly explain, hey, Choey is a boy squirrel with a beard, not a dress, just kidding. But that's help. That Y doesn't mean what you think it means. All right, hey, breaking news, dude. I found this. I think this happened at some point last school year, right? But I happened to find this online. there was an elementary school in Washington, right, called Golf Elementary, that went into lockdown after someone reported what they believed was a mountain lion near the school. Turns out that mountain lion just happened to be a really fat kitty cat. Can you believe that?
Some people did, yeah. But it just shows that some people are stupid.
It's like, how do you not know that's not a mountain
I don't
lion?
know, like, I'm like, what kind of, like, how fat was this cat that you thought it was a freaking mountain lion coming? Like, you're like, oh, run.
The AI overview. Oh, it was November 2023, so about almost 2 years ago. But it just says the mountain lion turned out to be a large house cat that was eating a rat. It's just like, I mean, you laugh at least they went into a safe mode, right? They weren't like, oh, let the kids go play with it, you know? I applaud that, but I'm just like, I had no problem going to lockdown. But then I like when I heard what it was, I was like, how do y'all not know? How could you not tell that? Oh well, you know.
Just, I don't know. Some people's brain. I don't know, man. Me and you've had enough conversations. There's adults out there that you're kind of like, oh, like if Darwinism was like a true on thing, like 100% of the time, like you wouldn't be around anymore.
But, all right, dude. So like I said, we're gonna save TripAdvisor till next week, but I want to go into the askable principal part. Okay.
Real good, real quick. Just because we touched on it, we didn't finish on it. The Oktoberfest this year is on September 19th to the 21st in La Villita district. So it's
okay.
So you looked it up.
The 21st,
dude. I'm excited.
The 21st of October, right?
19th to the 21st of September. Oktoberfest starts.
Oh, it's just a weekend. Oh, it's just that. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. No, Oktoberfest starts before October, but I was just like 3 days. Oh, that's right. That's just that weekend or whatever. That celebration here, but no, it sounds cool. No, but so we're gonna go ask a principal, Choey. So, what's the deal with accounting?
What's the deal?
Once you expressed all your frustration with that course you took.
I don't really see how this ties to me being a principal exactly, but I'll go with it. Dude. I don't know. I kind of already rambled a little. And you know what? Like, we hate that people train rambles, but like our stuff we ramble about as well. Like, accounting's crazy. And like the thing is, like, even like there was the restaurant I kind of work at part time. Like, one of the managers has an accounting degree. Like, his bachelor's is in accounting, and he's like, yeah, it's a whole different mindset, and it freaking is. Like I told you, like you think credit card, you think swipe a credit. And then you're like owing money, but in credits it means like you're getting money, and debits, or no, I think I got it backwards actually. Yeah, credit is taking away money, debits is adding money to it. Whereas if you have a debit card and you swipe the debit card, it's taking money out of your account.
Yeah.
But when you have a debit in accounting, it means you're gaining money, and it just makes me think about the fact that like people just make things harder than it is. Just to come up with your own lingo, so that way nobody else can understand what the heck you're saying. So that way it takes a degree in order to get it. Because you think about stuff like that, it's like, what? No. Like, why don't you speak language like everybody else?
Like that guy on Instagram, or his Instagram, he makes those little videos about like the English language, and he's like, no.
No. Why would you? What makes you say that?
But
what do you mean? What's making you say that? Your logic makes me say that.
You know what's kind of funny? So you sent me one of those videos, and now like again the data mining, like it'll pop up. It's like they know I watched one, so I'll see another one. And I'm just like
that guy's hilarious. It's like, and he's got some.
It is hilarious because he's like, it's bone. He's like, okay. Then you take away the B and you put a D there. What is it? Don't? No, it's done. Duh.
He's like, why would you say that?
Yeah,
he does some stuff too. He's got like some other ones. I went to his like TikTok page or Instagram. I don't know which one he was on that I found him on like stuff. But he's got stuff where he's like making fun of like how like people come up with like the concept for their business.
Yeah.
And so like he did one where there was gosh, and I can't remember because like the latest one I watched was Panera Bread.
And
he's like talking about Panera, and he's like, you know, guys, I love that getting here with Panera and, blah, blah, blah. What all should we sell? And like his other characters all bread. And they're like, okay, well, maybe what else should we do? He's like, we'll just do different kinds of bread. The guy's like, I love it. And the other one's all, no. What? And he's like, what? And he goes, what should we call it? And he's like, how about we call it Panera bread? And he's like, I love it. Let's do it.
Meeting adjourned, right?
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, what was the one that? And I've gone to it before with the wifey. It's not Home Goods, but it's the one that's attached to Home Goods. TJ Maxx, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it is. Where
Probably
he
wrong.
makes fun of. He's like creating TJ Maxx, and he's like, oh, what we'll do is we'll have the checkout line, and we'll put a bunch of stuff, random stuff that doesn't belong next to each other in the checkout line. Should we do a checkout line straight? No, we'll wind it. He's like, but how are we going to make sure that people look at this random stuff? And he's like, one checker. They're like, love it. Go with it. And I'm like, it's true, because you go there and there's one person checking out like 50 people in line, and like in line there'll be like a bag of coffee, some caramels, like a hair straightener, and you're like, what?
I think I may have seen that though. You're right. It's his delivery. It's the same thing. Like, one of the reasons I love Dave Chappelle, it's not that he's not funny, but like it's his voice and his delivery. So I guess that's the science to being like good comedians. Isn't what you say, but it's like how you say it, But
yeah, I watched the other day when he was doing like the top 4 presidential addresses or whatever, when he's like, oh, okay, you don't like what I say? How about you sanction me? Sanction me with your army. Well, that's right, you don't have an army. How about you shut the F up? That's right, shut the F up. And I like the one you sent me right before we started tonight. Can't really comment on it, I don't want to be too controversial.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. It's like, what is even in that? What is that? I don't trust you.
Exactly. And I like how they put that on the. We can't really. Like you said, we can't really comment on it. But I like how they put that symbol on other stuff, and he was talking about. I was like, I don't know if we can trust that now. But if anyone's listening, they're like, what happened here? There's no sense. But
like, don't.
You want to take us, Choey? Choey, one more. Hey, you notice how when you do your intro, when you do the lead-in, you know how you've come up with that DX style intro that you've, I was gonna say corrupted, but you've crafted, right? I noticed when I was doing the clip shows that every time we do the TripAdvisor, I just kind of subconsciously started doing that. I was like, hey, Choey, warm up your vocal cords. That was like my lead-in with the music. So, Choey, warm up your vocal cords, sir. You're going to take us to Hungary, and just so you know, I did think. Can you see it? I'll project my screen.
Yeah, no, I was trying to go if I can find it, so I was like, no, go back.
Yeah, it's slide 15. I'll go bigger.
Go bigger.
So
or
I
go
did
home.
something a little different here for season 4, exactly, right? Go big or go home. But I used ChatGPT to help me get this, right? So they're little one-liners to go with the facts. It's kind of so. Can you see the bottom, or do I need to exit out?
Oh, so I gotta. If you want to scroll it just a little bit, you're gonna have to cut off your wavy flag.
Oh, here. How about this? Can you see that, or is that too small?
Oh, I can see it. I can see it real good.
All right, take us away, Choey.
I can see it real good. I don't have an
I can
accent.
see it coming. I can see it in the air tonight, right?
I can see it coming in the air. All
there we go. All right, Choey, we're going hungry now.
All right. The name Hungary doesn't mean they're hungry, but if you visit Budapest and smell fresh longos, deep fried dough with cheese and sour cream, you will be. Actually, does sound good too. Budapest has more thermal baths than most people have showers. I don't get what that means. Seriously, you could soak in history and also someone's grandpa. Ew.
They're like bathhouses.
Okay, I get the bathhouse. I was like, how do they have more baths than showers? Like, that doesn't even make no sense. Okay. And now I'm picturing like some old man just chilling with nothing on. Gross.
With a towel or no towel.
It's like, oh, it's all saggy and wrinkly skin.
He's getting his spritz on, you know? Or...
Paprika is basically a religion. You thought it was just a spice? No, it's the national identity. They invented the Rubik's Cube, bastards. I hate that thing. And no, you still can't solve it without peeling the stickers. Wine is older than your family tree here. Hungarians have been making wine since Roman times, which means the hangovers are historic too. But they have a bridge guarded by stone lions. Fun fact, the lions on Budapest's chain bridge do have tongues. You just can't see them unless you're weirdly close. Isn't like kissing them on the lips, I guess. And last but not least, Hungary loves festivals. Wine festivals, music festivals, sausage festivals. If it exists, they'll throw a party for it.
Dude,
get some of them wine and sausage festivals.
Yeah, so people in the 90s and early 2000s were like, sausage festivals? What?
Sausage festivals.
Festivals, right?
Festivals. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're in our mid-40s.
We never grow up, right? Never grow up.
Never grow up, never mature. All right, it's never give up, never surrender. But same thing.
Yeah. I got one student in my class who's left-handed, right? I remember I was talking to his mom, and I was just like, hey, when I was like, my best friend from high school, he's left-handed. And then I got another student who's colorblind, right? And so they've both been pretty cool. The colorblind kid, I was told and it makes sense, right? And so you tell me this. I know we're kind of still riffing before we pull the plug. Obviously, when you were younger, you didn't like being told, hey, go stand on the blue line or whatever, right? Was that like frustrate you?
For me, because I'm like red green mostly and like a little bit of blue yellow, so like it's those when you would start having like the intermediary type stuff. So it's like if you were just like those three basics, like and even like the red, yellow, green, blue, like just the basic colors, those are easy. It's like when you start like kind of transitioning from like those intermediary ones in between like the then it's like, so you're like, okay, you got like blues and you got purples in there, and it's like, well, get this shade of, and I'm like, I don't know.
Because we got like these, we got lines on the hallway, right? And somebody like, you want to be like, hey, walk on the green line or walk on the blue line or whatever, right? And I'm trying to be like, hey, walk on the outside line, because I was told and it makes sense, right? He gets frustrated if I'm like, hey, go. I guess in the past, that's what they say. The counselor was saying, hey, he doesn't like being told go do this on that color because it's gonna throw him off. And so I was like, okay. So, but no, it's kind of funny because it's funny, not haha funny, but it's funny to me. That's like, I got two kids that, I'm like, hey, that's Choey, and that's Choey.
Like left-handed, colorblind, together they form the Choeinator.
Exactly. And then, I was thinking about it, I was like, if I had this conversation with teachers, they'd probably be like, and did you make fun of him? Yeah, he's my best friend. It's like, of course to make fun. That's what guys do. It's like,
you're like,
no, I'm not gonna make fun of the student, but I was like, I'll make fun of Choey. Choey, what color is this?
People like, oh, what did you do? I'm like, well, first I made fun of him, and then I helped. I'm not a heartless person. I was like, but you have to laugh first. It makes it feel better.
Yeah,
and if it doesn't make them feel better, then why do they gotta be so sensitive?
First, I fell out of my chair laughing, gave him a wedgie, and then we hugged it out. But that's what I don't think women understand that, right, dude? By the way, I think this. I'm gonna say the stat. Have you ever heard this? That most stats are made up on the spot.
Yeah.
Like 69% of stats are made up on the spot, as I make it up right now. I've been saying for the longest time I felt like 90% of elementary teachers were like women, but maybe it's not quite that high. But I think it's somewhere between, I bet, 86 to 88%. and I'm working on a team of 7, really 8 when you count my collab partner, and I'm one dude, right? So I mean, that's like it's 86+%. There's that plus. Take that plus out. But
took him behind the curtain in the reference. You brought it back in. You brought in the starfish.
I did. We circled back around. You always got to connect it, Choey.
That's how you make the jokes. You circle back and you spiral and you finish it off.
It's a terrible lesson if you don't connect it. But you want to do the socials real quick, or did you forget?
Yes, I will do that for you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on social media on Facebook, X. What's it? Facebook, X,
YouTube. Well, YouTube's different.
YouTube.
Here, let me just
I don't
pull
like
it up.
which ones. I don't want to mess them up because
You forgot. All right. X, TikTok are at Choey and Jan. Threads and Insta are at Choey and Jan 2. See, by the way, it's Choey and Jan, CHOEY, the letter N, and then JAN, as in Jan. And then, like I said, Choey and Jan 2, CHOEY, the letter N, JAN. 2 is TOO. And then, with all apologies, Choey, it's just because I set it up. Our Facebook is Jandler Bing, and our YouTube is at Jandler Bing 969. So
more Facebook, Mr. Jandler.
Or if you just look up, I still think it's pretty cool. If you start looking up the fun time, you find us pretty quick.
Really?
We've trended. Cool. Well, I feel you find us pretty quick. It used to be if you looked up Choey and Jandler, it'd take you to like Joey and Chandler on Friends. But now you can kind of see us on Choey and Jandler. It's like, oh, there it is. So
sweet.
All right, so pull the plug.
Pull it.
Get ready for the Sketch Network for absurd and ridiculous knuckleheads. Or S.N.A.R.K TV.
Long ago, before food blogs and cooking shows, before anyone knew what expiration dates were, brave and slightly reckless humans made the strangest discoveries in the name of hunger. Through trial, error, and probably a few stomach aches, humanity has unlocked the secrets of food. Some amazing, some questionable, and some that make you wonder if we should have just stuck to berries. Welcome to Who Ate That First, the show that celebrates history's bravest and possibly most reckless food pioneers. We now take a look back in history to important food discoveries.
Brother, I've made the most glorious of discoveries. White is a gift from the trees themselves.
Oh no. Last time you said that, we all got sick from those magic berries.
That was an accident, and I regret nothing. But this is different. Just watch.
Looks like tree snot.
Ah, but it is the sweetest tree snot that you will ever taste, brother.
You just licked a tree?
No. I saw a squirrel chewing a maple tree and looking very pleased with itself. So I thought, wounded caterpillar, that squirrel knows something. So I cut the tree and the juice came out.
So you stole a squirrel's secret.
Nature belongs to all, my friend. But listen, if you boil it down, it gets even better. Thick, golden, and sweet, I call it tree sauce.
That is the worst name I have ever heard.
Fine. How about syrup?
That sounds slightly less horrible. But what do we do with it?
Why, we pour it on food, corn cakes, meat, anything. I even tried dipping my hand in it. Sticky, but delicious.
So your great discovery is that trees cry deliciousness.
Precisely. Now help me collect more before the squirrels realize what we're up to.
The fact that you are still alive amazes me. And clothes were invented generations ago. Put on some pants!
Bye.